y'all, thank you so much for stopping by today. What I have for you today is part 3 of 6 of my massive 2021 eyeshadow palette collection. There will also be a declutter going along while I'm doing this, but it is by no means a massive declutter. I know that I have more eyeshadow than any one person could ever use, but please keep in mind that this is kind of my job. I buy these eyeshadow palettes to review for you guys, and then I keep a lot of them on hand still so that I'll have them for comparison sakes and, you know, maybe future videos and whatever the case may be. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Let's see, we're going to start with ColourPop. Let's go ahead and start with the bigger one. So I've got the So Jaded palette, the collaboration with Kathleen Lights, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So sadly, I don't think this is available anymore, but I'm definitely not getting rid of it because it's gorgeous. So that will be staying in my collection. That's one to look up to see if it's still available, but I'm pretty sure it's not, unfortunately. They didn't give much warning on the fact that it was being discontinued too, which I thought was a little weird, but whatever. Okay, and then I've got Chasing Rainbows. This one is no longer available either. This one I'm going to put in the maybe pile because I feel like I have those shades in other palettes. So yeah, I'm going to put it in the maybe pile. It is a really pretty palette, but I don't know. I feel like I have these shades elsewhere. So maybe. Okay. Let's see. This one has not been available for a while. It's the All I See Is Magic. I love to pull this out in the fall and winter, so this one's not going anywhere. I just can't film with it because I know it's no longer available, but I am definitely keeping it. Let's see, the Disney Villains Misunderstood. Same thing, I love the deep tones in here. No longer available, unfortunately, but I love this palette, so I'm going to hang on to it. Let's see, what else? This one was a real disappointment as how quickly it went away. I really thought they were going to restock it. This is the Hocus Pocus palette. I love this palette. I gave it rave reviews. I think I did multiple looks. So this one's definitely going nowhere. And of course I love Hocus Pocus, so yeah, it's staying in my collection. I'm just really sad that nobody else can get it, you know what I mean? It's kind of a bummer. And then I have the ColourPop Garden Variety palette. This is a beautiful spring, summer palette. I did do a look with this one, at least one, maybe more, I can't remember. And I really love this palette, so it is staying. I am not sure if this one is available anymore or not. I will look into that just so that I know. And then I have the Milan palette, and I don't think this one's available anymore either, unfortunately. So it's gorgeous. It's going nowhere. That's what she looks like. So pretty. So yeah, and really good quality. So I'm hanging on to that one. Let's see, then I have the Truly Madly Deeply. Mine's a little bit different than yours probably because I had a couple shades break, so I took some shades out of another old palette and put it in there. But I do like this, and I like the shades. I kind of curated it a little bit. So I do like this palette a lot, and this palette is still available, although mine's a little bit different than the one that's available because, like I said, I had to replace a few shades in here. But otherwise, it was only like 2 or 3 I think, that I had to replace. So for the most part, this palette is just like the one you can buy for the most part. So it's a really good palette and I really like it, and it's still available, and I think you can even get it at Ulta. So I do like this palette a lot. Then I have the Perception palette by Shayla and ColourPop. This one reminds me a lot of the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I like the deep tones that they have in here, so I don't know, since you can't get this one anymore, I think I'm going to go ahead and let it go. Because I do have these tones in other palettes. It is a really good palette though. Too bad it's not available anymore. But I'm going to go ahead and let it go. Alright, let's see, what do I have? I have the Zodiac palette from Kathleen Lights. This one is no longer available. Honestly, I was never a huge fan of this one. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. Wow, I'm surprised that I'm letting ColourPop go. I never let ColourPop go. This one is another collaboration with Kathleen Lights. This is the Dream Street palette. This one, yeah, I think I'm going to let this one go too, because I have these tones and other palettes, and you can't get this anymore, unfortunately. So, gonna let that one go as well. Alright, now this one you can't get anymore, unfortunately. You're a Cutie. However, it's purple and pink, so I'm not letting it go anywhere. I think it was an Ulta exclusive, possibly. But I'm definitely keeping this one, so yeah, it's very pretty. Okay, let's see what's next. This one, Decisions. Element of Surprise has not been available for a while. Yep, I think I'm gonna let it go. It's no longer available, so why tease myself when I can't film with it? You know what I'm saying? So, bye-bye. Okay, that brings me to the Femme Rosa Carucci X ColourPop She palette. I really did like this palette a lot, but it hasn't been available for a while, so I'm going to let this one go as well. Let's see, this one is still available as far as I know. This is the Good as Gold. This is a beautiful palette. I love gold, so, you know, there you go. So I'm definitely keeping that one. That will be staying in my collection. And I do believe, like I said, it's still available. This one is Double Entendre. I don't think this one's available anymore. It's gotten quite a bit of use. It's a great neutral palette. But I'm going to let it go. You can see I even hit pan in some shades there, so, you know, but I'm going to let it go. And in the same packaging, they have the I Think I Love You palette. Now this one, I did like quite a bit. So this one I'm going to put in the maybe pile to compare to some of my other neutral palettes, because I really do like this one a lot. So that's going to go in my maybe pile. Let's see, Wild Nothing. I think that they might have discontinued this one. And it's very light. I mean, this shade can deepen it up, but that's the only shade. All the other shades are very mid-tone or very light. So it's not my favorite palette. So I am going to go ahead and let this one go. Let's see what's next. Oh gosh, their very first pressed eyeshadow palette. Cute AF, Yes Please, is what it's called. And this reminds me of the Natasha Denona Sunset palette, but I don't wear those oranges and those reds, so I'm gonna let it go. You can't get this anymore, I don't think, on the ColourPop website, so I'm gonna let it go. Now this one, you unfortunately cannot get anymore. I wish they would bring it back. I absolutely love this one. So this one is absolutely going nowhere. I love pulling this out in the fall. So I'm definitely keeping this one, the Good Sport palette. Sweet Talk. This, I'm not sure if it's still available. I think it is. And it's a really good palette, especially in the spring, summer. So I am going to hang on to this one. Okay. Let's see, next up is the Salvaje palette. This was done with Becky G. I really like this palette a lot. Unfortunately, it's no longer available, but I am going to hang on to this because I really like the tones in here. So, if I find that I'm not using it by my next time around that declutters come, then I'll get rid of it. But for now, I'm going to hang on to it. Alright, let's see. I've got the Sweet Nothings palette. This is no longer available. Pretty sure it was an Ulta exclusive, but it's purple and mauves. So it is definitely staying in my collection. Okay. What's next? Give It To Me Straight. I don't think this one's available anymore. It's a nice mauve tone palette, but I don't really reach for it. I like my purples and some of my other mauve palettes better, so I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. I'm shocked I'm letting as many ColourPop palettes as I am go. I really am. Okay, let's see. Oh, this one is You Had Me at Hello. This one's no longer available either. This is what it looks like right here. So I never reach for it, so I am going to go ahead and let it go. Next up, I'm pretty sure this is still available, the Boudoir Noir, and I did do a video on this one. I really did like this palette, really do like this palette. It's like a grungy green cool tone palette, so I will, gosh, the reflection, there we go. Now you can see the shades better. I will definitely get use out of this in the fall, so it's going nowhere. And I'm pretty sure it's still available, like I said. Okay, and then also released around the same time was the Menage a Moi palette. And this one's got purples and mauves, and I really did like the looks that I did with this, so I will be hanging on to this one as well, and I'm pretty sure this one's still available. Okay, let's see, next up is California Love. I'm pretty sure this one's still available. This is a beautiful warm tone neutral palette, and I really do like the tones in this one, so I am going to hang on to this one. Okay, Off Melrose, I did a video with this one. I really do like this one a lot. It's got a few unique shades in here, and it was fun to play with, and I still have inspiration from this where I can come up with some other looks, so I am going to hang on to this one. And like I said, I think it's still available. Okay, then I have a Flutter right here. This one is no longer available. Unfortunately, my shade Dwindle was broken, but that's like a red shade, so it doesn't really affect me very much. But looking at it, honestly, I don't think I'll use this. It's more reds and corals and stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and let that go. And I don't think it's available anymore. X's and O's, I do think is still available, and I do like this palette a lot. There you go. Even though it's got reds, but it's got burgundies and stuff like that. This is a really good, like, Valentine's Day and fall palette. So I like this one a lot. So I will be hanging on to this one. And then I have the Rendezvous palette, which was, I believe, an Ulta exclusive, and you can't get it anymore. This one, see, like I think I have some of these same shades and some other ones that I'm saying maybe to, so I'm going to put this one in the maybe pile. That's a maybe. We'll see. Wow, I got rid of a lot of ColourPop. That shocks me. That really, really shocks me because ColourPop's my jam. So let me put these back here. And I'll have to reorganize everything later. But that's where that's going to go to stay out of my way for now. Okay, I have this Sigma, I don't know what they called it, but it was like the collector's set. And it has 4 eyeshadow palettes. It has the Sigma Enchanted, the Sigma Untamed, the Sigma Warm Neutrals, and Sigma Cor de Rosa. I have not used any of these, so they're not going anywhere. I will open them though so you can see them because they are gorgeous and they received rave reviews. So yeah, they're not going anywhere. I need to pull these out and do looks with these for sure. I've already taken the brushes out, but there's the Enchanted palette. I mean, so pretty. So pretty. Those shimmers, oof, next level. So, and one good thing if you don't know, all Sigma palettes come with a Sigma brush, and their brushes are really, really good quality, and it's like a double-sided brush. That's why I went ahead and took the brushes out already, because I use them like on a regular basis. Okay, and this one is Untamed, which this one got major rave reviews. Everybody loved this one. And this is like perfect for the fall, so I'm really looking forward to using this one. And I think all of these are still available. Then they have the, sorry, bear with me just one second. They have the Warm Neutral. So they redid, they used to have like a square, or yeah, it was like more like a square Warm Neutrals palette, but they redid it and put it in this format and changed the formula. And from what I understand, the formula is a lot better. So yeah. So this is what this looks like. It's just like it says, a warm neutral palette, but very pretty. So I will definitely use that. That kind of reminds me a little bit of Modern Renaissance. I don't know, I'll have to kind of compare the two. And then last but not least is the Cor de Rosa. And this is what the Cor de Rosa looks like. So beautiful. Well, if I can get the little plastic cover off. There we go. So beautiful. This one's going nowhere. So keeping all of those. And I'm keeping them in their little vault because I really like the packaging and it's super cute. So yes, I definitely need to bust out some looks with these though, because they're too pretty to just be sitting there on my shelf. Which is why I'm doing this declutter, because I have way too many eyeshadow palettes. And I'm trying to cut back on the eyeshadow palettes that I buy, except for ColourPop, because I love ColourPop and they're affordable, and I usually love almost every collection they come out with. But I'm trying to stick more with indie brands lately than with like the big brands, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm trying to kind of cut back on the buying so I can start using these more frequently. Alright, next up I have all my Juvia's Place palettes. So don't be surprised if I don't get rid of any of them. There might be a couple I let go, but I don't know. Maybe. Okay. So the first one is the Nubian 3, the Coral palette. This one is just a really cool kind of warm tone and cool tone palette mixed together. I really like it. I really like the tones in here. I mean, look at this silver right here. It's so pretty. And I don't know, let's see this right here. I mean, their shimmers are next level. So I just, and I like the color story in this. So yeah, definitely hanging on to this one. Oh, need another rag. See why I'm not swatching? We'd be here forever and a day. I mean, this video is probably already really long, so I don't know if I'll break it up or try to do it all in one video. We'll have to see. Okay, so I'm keeping that one. The Nomad, I love this palette. This is grungy greens, grungy browns. This is perfect for the fall. I will be pulling this out. Sadly, this palette was discontinued, but I am definitely not getting rid of it. This is the Tribe palette, and this is what it looks like right here. It's got some really cool duochrome shades. You can't tell by looking at it, but I'm not going to tease y'all because you can't get it anymore. So I am keeping that one though. The Deuce by why am I saying by Juvia's? They're all by Juvia's. I love the Deuce palette. Going nowhere. This one is still available. I mean, look at these shimmers right there. Hold on. Come on, focus. Here. I mean, oh, love Juvia's Place. Great quality, very affordable, and if you wait for them to have a sale on their website, I swear you get their palettes for next to nothing. So yeah, highly recommend Juvia's Place. They're one of my favorite indie brands. And it's a black owned brand on top of that, so there you go. That's an extra bonus. This is the Zulu palette. Again, I love the tones in here, so it's going nowhere. Told y'all I probably wasn't really going to be getting rid of anything from Juvia's Place. This is the Warrior 3 by Juvia's Place. Keep saying by Juvia's Place. There you go. There are those tones. Love these. Need to be dipping into these more because they are gorgeous. Okay, this is the one I think I will get rid of. This was my very first palette from them. And it's good, but their quality has been like ramped up 100 times more since this palette initially came out. Plus this is more on the orange tone side, so I don't really reach for it ever. So I am going to let this one go. Next is the Afrique by Juvia's. I keep saying it. I don't need to say that. This is kind of a cool, like almost primary color palette, so I like it. I don't necessarily use it by itself. I like to dip into this for just certain colors, so I am keeping that for sure. Okay, then I have the Saharan by Juvia's. I keep saying it. I had decluttered this palette, and I wound up rebuying it when they had a sale because I missed it so much. So it's not going anywhere. That's why it looks brand new, because it is. Because I had decluttered my other one and regretted it, and so I repurchased it. Yep, that's what I did. Alright, this is the Saharan 2. And again, gorgeous tones. You can see those shimmers. Beautiful. They aren't going anywhere. This one I might get rid of. This one is the Warrior 2 by Juvia's. It's an all matte. And I don't know, those just aren't my all matte tones. You know, I've got my Viseart palettes and stuff, and I've got some other all matte palettes, so I am gonna let this one go. Okay, then I have the Festival palette. Gorgeous, not going anywhere. So there you go. I need to do like a Juvia's Place week or month or something where I play with all of the Juvia's Place palettes that are still available. Then I have the Warrior by Juvia's Place. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep saying it because that's how it reads on there. And this is a gorgeous neutral palette. I love that it has kind of more of the yellow gold tones to it. I really, really like this palette. So it's a beautiful neutral palette. So going nowhere. Let's see, I have the Nubian 2. This one I don't reach for quite as much. I do really like this green though. And I like this like deep purple matte right here. So there's a few shades in here that I really do like, so I am going to hang on to it. I thought at one point about depotting it, but I'm just going to leave it in here. Because there are some really cool shades that I do reach for in this palette. Alright, almost nearing the end of the Juvia's Place palettes. I have the Walhalla palette right here. This one, I did do a look with it. It was beautiful. Love this palette. So it's going nowhere. I haven't tried their pressed glitters. I have no idea how good their pressed glitters are. I probably will dip into them eventually though. But I have the Walhalla 2 somewhere. I just don't know where it is, but I'll come across it at some point, I'm sure. It was a newer purchase, so anywho, we'll find it. I have the Magic palette by Juvia's Place. I don't think they make this size anymore. I think they only make it in the mini, which is all you need. Because, I mean, these pans are ginormous. And the mini, it's the exact same palette, just the pan sizes are smaller. But this one is going nowhere. I use this all the time. I really like to dip in here for, I can do a complete look with this, or I can dip in here for just special shades, especially their shimmers, because they're so good. So good. And then last but not least is the Masquerade by Juvia's Place. Again, I don't think they make this size anymore. I think they make it in the mini. But this one, if you're just starting out with Juvia's, this would be the one that I would recommend in the mini. Because you've got your bright colors and then you have your neutral colors down here. So you can do neutral looks with pops of color and kind of introduce yourself to color to get more comfortable with it. So that is my recommendation. Let's go over some of these other palettes. I have the Melt Vita palette. I was not able to get my hands on the Muerte palette, which makes me very sad, but I will definitely be hanging on to this because this is gorgeous and the artwork is gorgeous and it's going nowhere. I haven't actually used this palette yet. I need to bust into it, and I definitely see myself reaching into it this fall, if not during the summer, because it needs to be used. I have this Uoma Beauty palette. It's called Black Magic Allure, and it looks like the Subculture to me. I do not know the quality of Uoma's Beauty's palettes, and I haven't had a chance to use this yet, so I'm hanging on to this one, and I do believe it's still available. I will check on that to make sure before I film with it, but I do want to give this one a go because it's gorgeous, and if it performs better than Subculture, then I might just go bye-bye to Subculture. I actually might be doing that anyways. So yeah, I definitely can't wait to give this a try as well. Let's see, I have the Dominique Cosmetics Celestial Thunder palette. It's nice, but I'd rather have the full-size version. I just don't think this is a very cohesive color story, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go. I have the Urban Decay Wired palette. I have not used this yet. I want to compare this to some of my other neons, so I am going to hang on to this one. I'm not sure if this one's still available though. So maybe I'll put this in the maybe pile. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Now this one's going nowhere. This is the Electric palette by Urban Decay. This is a Rockstar palette. This palette is still going strong. I've had it for years and it still performs just as well as it did the first day I got it. So I am definitely hanging on to this one. Love this palette. When I want some bold, bright shades. Next one, I've got Hip Dot Zion palette. The tones in here are gorgeous. It reminds me of the Huda Dusk Till Dawn palette. And Hip Dot is pretty affordable, so I am going to hang on to this palette. I really did enjoy the looks that I got out of this. The only thing is their shimmers aren't as wapow as I would like them to be, but again, like I said before, I have Super Shocks and I have glitter, you know, liquid glitter shadows and stuff like that, so I can always amp it up that way. And I need to remember to do that because I've got a lot of glitter, liquid glitter shadows that are going to dry out if I don't start using them. So yeah. Okay, and then my only other melt palette that I have is the Radioactive palette, which is a beautiful neon palette. I haven't used this one either. I will definitely be dipping into this one. I want to compare it to the Wired, if the Wired's still available, and the Electric palette. So I will probably keep the Wired just because I have a feeling that it might still be available, along with the Electric palette and the Radioactive palette, and like I said, do like a comparison between the three because I'm pretty sure Radioactive is still available as well. So yep, alright, let me get this out of the way. I think I had it here, I don't know, whatever. That was just filler space right there. Okay, moving on. Let's see what I have. Oh, let's move these Sigma out of the way. I've already gone through those. Okay. Yay, that frees up space. 1 second. I need a timer. Okay. All right. So next up, I do not know if this is still available on BH Cosmetics website or not, but I'm not getting rid of it because I heard it was such a great palette. And I can get over the fact that it's got holiday packaging because these shades are gorgeous. So I am definitely keeping this one. I just need to put it in the pile to determine whether or not you can still get it. And if not, I hope they re-release it over the holidays because it was incredibly popular. Okay, I've got 2 more BH Cosmetic palettes here. I've got the Zodiac palette right here. Love this palette. I think I rebought this palette. Yeah, I did. I decluttered it, got mad at myself, and I rebought it. So I really love this palette. It's a really good palette. If it's still available, I need to check on that. I highly recommend it. Those are more the deeper shades. And then the next one is called Zodiac Love Signs. And it's a little bit more on the like romantic side, I guess I would say. So that's what this looks like right here. Here's the outer part, love signs, and there you go. That's what that looks like. Again, I need to check and see if it's still available, but I'm pretty sure that it is. So highly recommend these. Their baked shadows are incredible. Okay, I think it's time to finally say goodbye to my Lorac Pro palettes. I have the Lorac Mega Pro 2, which is more of a cool tone palette. I mean, it's really nice, but they've completely reformulated and changed everything, so it's time to let this go. I also have the Lorac Pro Mega 4. Again, it has some really cool shades in here. But again, they've reformulated their entire line, and so I don't think they even have these anymore, so I'm going to let it go. They no longer have this BH Cosmetics palette, which is quite a shame. It's a very nice palette. But I don't ever really reach for it, so it has highlighters over here and it has eyeshadows over here, so it's a very nice palette. Face and, you know, and eyes. So, but since it's no longer available, I'm going to go ahead and let it go. Let's see, what else do I have? I have the Urban Decay Kristen Leanne palette. I actually really love this palette. I know that a lot of people have OCD with the way they did the pans, but the quality of the shadows are really, really good. Unfortunately, you can no longer get this, but I am going to hang on to this because it's just so good. And then this was ColourPop's first attempt at a cool tone palette, Fame. And it's a very beautiful palette, lots of taupes and whatnot in here, but you can no longer get it, and so I'm just going to go ahead and let it go. And then there's Fortune, which if you put them side by side, wait, this way, side by side, it makes the circus tent. They don't they're not magnetized or anything. I wish they had done that. But so you already saw Fame, so Fortune, I'll show you Fortune. That's what Fortune looks like, but I have those tones in other palettes, so I'm going to go ahead and let this go too because you can't get it anymore. So, you know, maybe I'll sell it as a set if somebody wants it as a set or whatever, I don't know. But these are both really, really good palettes. Too bad they're not available anymore. Alright, this is my Morphe X Jaclyn Hill Bling Boss palette. And I like it okay. But I have much better purples in my collection now. And I don't even know if they sell this anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and let this go. Okay. I have the Urban Decay After Dark palette. They haven't had this in years, but it's still in really good shape, really good quality. It has a lot of their duochromes, their popular shades in there, so that's why I've hung on to it. However, I have some of those shades in singles, so I think I'm going to go ahead and let this palette go. I haven't reached for it in a long time. So bye-bye, After Dark. Very good palette, highly recommend. But yeah, this is the e.l.f. J. Kissa To the Rescue palette. I never got a chance to use this, and I hate the way e.l.f. does collaborations because they don't restock. They just do one round, and then if you don't get it, you don't get it. So I won't be buying any more of their limited edition collaboration palettes, so I never used this. So I'm actually going to sell this. It still has the stickers and everything. So I'm going to let this go and let somebody else have it. in their home. Okay, let's see. Next up I have Makeup Revolution Foil Frenzy Creation. This is actually really pretty. I just don't know if it's still available or not. So I'm going to put it in the pile to see if it's still available. If it's not, then I'll probably go ahead and let it go, because there's no point in me having it. And then same with this. This is Revolution Reloaded Basic Mattes. And that's what it looks like. I do like to have, like I said, drugstore stuff on hand, and I consider Revolution drugstore. And so if this is still available for purchase, then I will hang on to it. If not, then I'll let it go. And last but not least, this is kind of a dupe for the Subculture. This is the Reloaded Iconic Division. I'll look that up and see if it's still available. If it is, then I'm definitely, oh, my hinge is broken. Anyways, I'm definitely going to keep it if it's still available, because I've been having problems with my Subculture, and I think I'm going to let my Subculture finally just go bye-bye. So I'll look it up and see if it's still available. Alrighty. Okay, I have BH Cosmetics Galaxy Chic. I don't think this is available anymore. I think they discontinued it, but these are their baked shadows, and like I said, their baked shadows are incredible. They're great dry, but if you get them, like get it on your brush and then spray your brush and get them wet, oh my goodness, they're like next level shimmers. So, the fact that I don't think it's available, I'm going to put it in the pile to check and see if it's available. If it's not, then I will be letting it go. If it is, then I'll hang on to it for sure, because it is a beautiful palette. But I'm trying not to keep palettes that I can't film with. Okay, this is the Stilazzi Stellar palette. I actually won this from Agape Love Girl, Maria of Agape Love Girl. It's a nice cool tone palette. It works really well, so I'm going to be comparing this to my cool tone palettes that I have this fall and winter. So this is staying in my collection. I really did enjoy playing with this one. The quality was really good on it. I'm surprised that Stilazzi isn't more popular than they are, because I thought this was really good quality. So yes, I am keeping that for sure. Alright, I have the Ciate London, the Editor palette. This one I haven't even touched, and it's really pretty. And I got rid of my other Ciate London palette, so I think maybe I'll keep this one and give it a try, because I really do like the shades in here. Those shimmers look really, really nice, so I will hang on to this one. Okay, next up, oh, don't fall. I have from Bad Habit the Divine palette, which was a dupe, I believe, for the Natasha Denona Star palette. But I have the Natasha Denona Star palette, and Bad Habit is out of business, so I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. Yeah. It's such a shame that they went out of business. I don't know what happened there. But it is what it is, what it is. Okay, this is the Stila. It was like a holiday palette, I think. It's called the Blue Realm. And those shimmers are really, really lovely. And this is one of the few Stila palettes that I have. So I'm going to check and see if it's still available. If it's not, then I'll let it go. If it is, then I'll keep it. And then I have a I Heart Revolution Red Velvet. palette, and it's really pretty. It's kind of considered maybe a dupe for the Blood Sugar palette, but I never reached for it, and I don't know if it's still available. Like at Ulta, you might be able to get on Makeup Revolution's website, but not at Ulta, so I'm going to let this one go. Okay, what else do I have? Oh, I have the Violet Voss Essentials. This is just such a basic palette that would be great for many people. But I have all these tones and multiple palettes, so I haven't even used this. It's brand new. So I'm going to let it go. Alright, so, and then this is the Essentials 2. Now this one I like a little bit better because it's got those pretty purples and blues down here, so I am going to hold on to this one. I do like Violet Voss shadows a lot. Again, I'll make sure this one's still available. If it's not available, then I'll let it go. Alright, this one right here is definitely not available anymore. This was Bad Habit. This is the Artistry palette. This was a dupe for the Makeup by Mario collab that he did with Anastasia Beverly Hills many years ago. It's a great palette, but again, nobody can get this anymore because Bad Habit is out of business, so I'm going to let it go. On that note, there's the Artistry 2 from Bad Habit. This one is a dupe of the one that Makeup Mario did with Kim Kardashian. Before she was Kim Kardashian West. Now I think she's Kim Kardashian again, but there you go. But again, since you can't get this anymore, I'm going to go ahead and let it go. Alright, Moon Dust. I think you can still get this palette, and even if you can't, I'm not letting it go because these are so pretty. They're more like toppers, which is like totally fine with me, especially when I have, you know, a palette that their shimmers are just lackluster. So they're made to really just be toppers. They're not super opaque. But I mean, look at that shimmer and that shine. So yeah, those are going nowhere. I love the Moon Dust formula. If you've never tried it, I highly recommend it. Again, I don't know if the palette's still available, but I'm still keeping the palette because I love it that much. Yes, I do. Alright, this was a BoxyCharm palette that they did. I never used it. It looks really pretty, but honestly, I have these shades elsewhere. And there's a pressed glitter in there and all that stuff, and I've never touched this. So I'm going to let this go. Okay. Now, this one is hard for me because it is Bad Habit, but it is a dupe for Pat McGrath palette, and I don't have the Pat McGrath big palettes except for one. So for now I'm going to hang on to this one because it does have kind of special shades in here. So for now I'm going to hang on to this one. I won't use it on camera because nobody can get it anymore. But I will still use it. And then speaking of, these are kind of dupes for Pat McGrath as well too, and I think these are still available. I'll have to check. This is Revolution Pro. This one is Earth and Stone. And so there you go. That's kind of their version of the dupe for Pat McGrath, one of her palettes. I'm not sure which one, but there's that one. And then here's Night and Day, and so this is more for the cool tone palette. It's a dupe for the cool tone. Please ignore the little smiley faces. My niece did that, so you know, it is what it is, but I thought it was pretty cute, and she didn't really wreck the palette, so it was like, well, whatever, I'll just let it go. But this is a dupe for the cool tone palette that Pat McGrath has, so I'm going to check and see if they're still available. If they are, then I'm going to be hanging on to them. My pile is getting quite large over here for the ones I have to check on. But that's okay. I can deal with that. Alright, so I've had this in my collection for a while. I never reached for it. This is the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. I don't even know if they sell this anymore. It still smells beautiful, like peaches and cream. It's an all matte palette and it's beautiful, but I never reached for it, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go. This is another So Very Lovely palette. It came to me broken. I fixed the 2 shades that were broken. So I'm going to sell it as is. I mean, it's just these 2 shades came broken, so I repressed them, and everything else is brand new, untouched, I think. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I swatched it. Whatever, it looks like I swatched it, but I'm going to let this one go because I don't need 2 of these. So I hung on to the one that they sent me in replacement because it was in better shape. So that one is going in the declutter. Alright, so next up, this one's hard, but this is the I Want Candy palette by Too Faced, and I love Candy Johnson. And the shadow quality, I think it still smells good. Oh yeah, it still smells good. The shadow quality in this is really, really good, but you can't get it anymore. This was back in 2017 is when this was released. But the shadow quality is still impeccable, so... But it's, I don't know, it's like one of, I'm going to put that one as a maybe because it was a gift from a friend, so I'm probably going to keep it, just won't film with it, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's going to go in the maybe pile. Whoops. Okay, next up I have the Milani Gilded Violet. I am not a fan of these particular palettes that Milani put out. I think they changed their formula for the worse, not for the better, and I hope that they will change it back up again. I haven't tried any of their palettes lately, but I do have that one, the one that I showed y'all, this one right here, so I'll be able to tell you guys what I think about the shadow quality in this one. But this one I'm going to go ahead and let go. I mean, it's an okay palette, it's just not my favorite, so I'm going to let it go. Okay, and then I have from Face Candy the Amazonian. This was a dupe for a Kylie palette, one of her holiday palettes, and Face Candy's no longer around and Kylie's palettes are no longer around, so I'm going to go ahead and let this go. This is another dupe for a Kylie palette. This was her other, I think, holiday palette, and this is Face Candy again. They're not around anymore that I'm aware of. And Kylie again rebranded, so none of her palettes are available to my knowledge, so I'm going to let this one go. Now this one I'm going to hang on to. This one is from Bad Habit, but this is a dupe for the Subculture, and like I said, I'm having issues with my Subculture, so I'm going to hang on to this because I love the tones, and this one is easier for me to use than the Subculture is. So I'm going to hang on to this one. I just won't film with it on camera. Alright, and what is this? Oh, this is the Studio Makeup Ease to Wear Eyeshadow Palette. I have not touched this. I got it in a BoxyCharm. Not really my tone, so I'm going to go ahead and let it go. Okie dokie. And this one right here is a maybe. This is the Tarte Make Believe in Yourself. It's been discontinued for a while, but it is gorgeous. It's Only got one matte right there. The rest are shimmers, and their shimmers are just really, really pretty. I'm not going to swatch it and tease y'all because you can't get it. But I am going to go ahead and hang on to this one because it is very good quality and it's great to reach into when I want a really nice shimmer. Okay, I'm actually going to cut the video off right here. This turned out to be quite a long video. The raw footage was over 5 hours, so I broke it up into 6 parts. So whether this is part 1 or part 6, whatever part you're watching, it'll have the same outro just to let you guys know. I think, mention throughout some of the videos that I will be selling the palettes that I am decluttering on Mercari. I will have that link down below in the description box of all 6 videos. I'll also make sure to have the link to all 6 videos and all 6 of the videos. That sounds like a lot of repetition right there, but yeah, that's what my plan is. So anyways, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I really do hope that you enjoyed seeing my palette collection. I love sharing it with you guys, and I know a lot of people like to see these type of videos. So I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this video, I'd love it if you would give me a like. That would help me out so much with the YouTube algorithm. I'm just a little bitty micro channel, so I'm trying to get noticed. And also, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and make sure to ring that notification bell so that you're notified of future content. I have lots and lots of content that I put out. I have a ColourPop marathon going on right now where I'm trying to film with a ColourPop palette at least every other day, just to get through a bunch of ColourPop palettes that I bought over the past few months that I haven't had a chance to film with. What else? I do giveaways. I do reviews, unboxings, first impressions, tutorials, just a vast array of different content. So I try to definitely keep it you know, always active and, you know, changing things up a little bit here and there to keep it interesting. So I would love to have you as a subscriber. But with all that being said, thank you again for watching. I hope that you're having a great day or evening wherever you are in this world. I hope you are staying safe. I hope you are staying healthy, and I look forward to talking to you again real soon. Bye!